Massive Warriors trade update. Celtics guard Derrick White is rumored to be a main target of the Golden State Warriors, according to reports around the league. Rumors are flying all over the place about a trade for Derrick White, but is this a good move for the Warriors? I can already hear you saying just what the Warriors need, another guard. But let me tell you why this is different. In today's video, I'll break down why he actually could be the key to a Warriors championship run next year. I'll break down the reports, what the Warriors would have to give up in the trade, and the pluses and minuses on Derrick White so you don't miss anything here. First, though, I need you to hit subscribe. I'm Arthur Ballesteros. This is Warriors Digest. We bring you daily videos breaking down everything going on with the Warriors. Thank you to the 11,000 plus who have joined the Warriors Digest community. Hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And then we can get to news like this. You're in the loop on what's going on. Warriors might acquire Derrick White if the Celtics initiate a fire sale. The headlines are coming in fast and furious. New report on a potential Warriors-Celtics trade. We talked about the potential deal for Kristaps Porzingis. Everybody in the community said hell no to that. Tell me what you think about this potential deal for Derrick White, because it's moving fast here. I mean, we've already got the mock-ups, the AI Derrick White Warriors jersey mock-up. I mean, what gets more official than that? But this actually does have a little bit of meat to it. The main story comes from Logan Murdoch, who I want to remind you is the insider who was able to leak information about the real drama going on between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga. That story just dropped like a week ago. Really gave some great insight into what's going on there. So he has his pulse on what's going on with the Warriors. This is what he said when he appeared on the Low Post, which is Zach Lowe's podcast, another really big NBA insider. So Logan Murdoch said, I think that what's going to happen for the Warriors, they're going to try to figure out somebody, another guy that can hold down the fort, another guy that the Warriors will be looking at and should be looking at is Derrick White. So a guy like that, that's something that he sees the Warriors looking at right now. And this isn't just him. These reports have been kind of trickling out for a couple of days here from some insiders. But let's take a look at what Derrick White would look like. He's not a household name. He's not, Giannis, obviously. He's not even Cam Johnson level for a lot of people, who has been rumored to be coming to the Warriors via a Jonathan Kuminga sign and trade. So who is Derrick White? Well, I'm going to tell you, he's a baller. Let's take a look at his stats here over the past year. That's not it. This is it. He averaged 16.4 points per game, 4.5 boards, 4.8 assists. He's 6'4", so I can already hear it. Another small guard. We have just been dying for like a 6'7" lengthy guard. I know Moses Moody is kind of around that, and he's got that great wingspan. But Derrick White, this is your true prototypical 3-and-D guy. So you see that he shoots 38% from behind the arc, but he's putting a lot of them up. He's very efficient when it comes to three. When we take a look at his shooting here, I want to bring up some of the scouting reports on him. So his perimeter shooting fits into exactly everything that the Warriors are doing. You can find these advanced metrics and stats on bballindex.com. So he gets pretty much across the board A on all of his shooting, except for, this is a big minus in his game, is his shot quality. Doesn't always take the best look. He puts up a lot of contested mid-range and three-point shots, but he's still a killer from behind the arc. I mean, this is a guy who can still knock him down. And the big part here is his defense. This is something the Warriors could, just immensely benefit from having a true 3-and-D guy. I mean, he finished like 8th in Defensive Player of the Year voting back in the 2023-2024 season. He has 2 second-team all-defense team honors to his credentials there. And this is a guy who elevates his game in the playoffs here. So these are his playoff career. It's kind of small here, but you can see he averaged 16.4 points during the regular season this year. In the playoffs, he upped that to almost 19 points per game. This is a guy who elevates at the right time, and he did a lot in several games in the Knicks series. You see, he scored 34 points, 23, 17, 20. He did have a low point in the last game of the series where he only scored 8 points, but you have to think Jason Tatum was out for that. Momentum had swung a lot already. But this is a guy who elevates. And then as you see, there's one game he went 7 for 13 from 3. Another game went 6 for 11. The knock on him as well is that he can be a streaky shooter somebody a la kind of Buddy Hield, which brings up an interesting point here because if the Warriors were to get this deal done, this is the proposed deal. Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Brandin Podziemski, and an unprotected 2027 first-round pick for Derrick White. Now, the knock on Derrick White as well, a lot of people will kind of look at this contract and say, what is going on here? He's owed about $30 million a year. He's also going to get a 15% trade incentive if he is dealt to the Warriors. So that's going to bump his number up a little bit as well. But you're looking between the $28 to $32 million range per year for Derrick White for the rest of this 4-year contract, which he just signed the extension this past July. So this contract hasn't even started yet, but the Celtics are going to be looking to offload money here. They've got a potential $500 million payroll looming when you add in all the fines, all the luxury tax fines. They are a second apron team, so they're very limited in the moves that they can make. So you're going to see them looking to offload some salary there. But this doesn't necessarily get the Celtics that much, breathing room when it comes to the salary cap here. They're only going to be saving about $3 million on the deal, but in exchange, they get a couple of guys, or at least Brandin Podziemski, who's still on his rookie deal. Smaller contract, easier to flip for draft picks if they want to. Moses Moody is on a very team-friendly deal at about $11 million a year. Buddy Hield, I believe he has 2 years left on his deal at about $9 million per year. You hate to see Buddy go because of the shooting. We saw how he could be a hero in game, 5 against the Rockets there. But you see how streaky he can be. That's kind of the knock on Derrick White as well. But the upside with Derrick White is you get that lockdown perimeter defense. This is also a guy who is a playmaker. When you look at his ratings on playmaking ability, just kind of off the charts here. Although his passing efficiency isn't as good as you would like it. But, a lot of times he's just going to give the Warriors a lot of different versatility where he can be bringing the ball up. Steph can be playing in the off-guard spot. Or there's a lot of mix and match potential there with Steph out of the lineup. He can still be a threat to score, but also be initiating the offense. So you take some of the load off of Jimmy Butler. I don't know. To me, I kind of like the deal if you're in win now mode, which the Warriors are. You're looking at this window here with Steph Curry, 2 more years. Jimmy Butler signed for 2 more years. Draymond Green, 2 more years. Steve Kerr, 2 more years. Everything is lined up for this 2-year window. Bringing in a guy like Derrick White at only 30 years old, an all-defense team member already twice, a guy who elevates his game in the playoffs. Shut up. There's a horn honking outside. I'm trying to break down Derrick White, damn it. Anyway, he's a guy who can knock down the open 3. Also, initiate the offense as well. I think that this makes a lot of sense for the Warriors in conjunction with other moves. And you are mortgaging the future. It looks like Podziemski has strong potential to turn into probably one of the best 6 men in the league. Moses Moody, we saw a lot of upside to his game before the playoffs came around, but you saw him really start to develop on D. You saw him start to get some confidence in his 3-point shot during the end of the regular season, and he was part of that, death lineup for the Warriors that went on such an incredible win streak. I think it was 13-0 with Jimmy, Dre, Podziemski, and Curry in the lineup. But he lost a lot of value in the playoffs. He became almost unplayable, except, we saw some heroics in the last game of the playoffs. But how do you feel about this? Are you willing to mortgage the future to try to win now and get a win now piece like Derrick White? Do we need somebody else? Yes, some size. Please, let's talk about Steven Adams. Let's try to get him in here. Maybe a Brook Lopez if you can get him on the minimum. We talked about that. I like the move if you're going to add something else and if you're not going to go for Giannis. But in a dream world scenario, you're signing trading Jonathan Kuminga to the Nets for Cam Johnson, and then you swing this deal, and you're looking like a championship contender as is. So you tell me what your thoughts are on this move. Should the Warriors make it? Should they look for something else? I want to hear from you. Hit those comments up, and I hope that guy got, what he was looking for with that honking. Jesus. Anyway, you probably didn't even hear that. Probably didn't even come through the mic. You know what? I got to go. I'm losing my mind. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.